What is up, beautiful people? It is your girl Cam, and I am back with another video. Today I'm coming at you with my study notes for the second chapter of the Bible study book, Seamless. So I do have a chapter 1 video for Seamless, and if you missed that one, I will link it in a card up above. But I just finished up chapter 2 maybe a week or so ago, and I am back to share with you my study notes and my journaling setup. So if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome, welcome. My name is Cam, this is Piece of the Plans, and I do hope you find some inspiration here right on this channel. And I hope that you will take a moment and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of the fun. And I did want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who helped us reach 7,000 subscribers. I said it on a previous video, but I know that some people don't watch all of my videos. So I want to make sure that if you come to this channel for the faith journaling and the faith planning and the Bible study, that you hear me say it to you as well. Thank you so much for your support on this channel. I truly appreciate it, and I hope that you find some inspiration here and that you stick around for all of the Bible study and faith journaling that I have coming up for the rest of this year. Okay, so chapter 2 of Seamless was so amazing. I mean, I took so many notes in chapter 2, y'all. I broke out my little tabs because there was just so much goodness in this second chapter. So we're talking about the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Rachel, Leah, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Esau. This is the foundation of our faith. This is where it happens. Joseph, this is where it goes down, okay? The foundation of our faith, and where God makes a lot of promises to us that we are still partakers of today. So this part of the study, chapter 2, I know the whole book is going to be good because I just love studying the Word of God. But this chapter 2 was so good because it's foundational. So I am going to share with you some of my thoughts. I'm not going to share everything because that would be probably a 5-hour video, and ain't nobody got time for that. But I will share with you some of the highlights after I put my notes into my actual journal. Okay, we'll go back and talk about some of the highlights. But if you do not have this book, I do highly, highly recommend it. She has a very casual writing style. The author is Angie Smith. She has a very casual writing style. It's just like you're sitting down having coffee or tea with a friend, and she's just talking to you about the Word. So it's really, really an easy read, but it's full of good, solid biblical information. And she makes it so much fun to read and interesting to read, and the knowledge kind of sticks in your head because of the casual way that she writes. So I do love this. But for this part of my journaling, I have been using my Happy Notes noted journal. I've shown this to you before. If you've been here before, if this is your first time, then I'll have to leave the link to the playlist for this because I've got a lot going on in this Bible study journal. But I've done a lot in this book, and I'm going to continue today, and I'm going to use some printables from a shop called Beautiful Good News. I will link her Etsy shop down in the description box. Beautiful, beautiful artwork in her shop. Amazing artwork in her shop on almost every biblical topic that you could possibly think of. And so I'm going to be using this set. I don't know the name of it, but Sand of the Seashore may possibly be the name. And so you may be asking, because I'm a seasonal planner, you may be wondering, why are you using this beach printable, and it's fall and you love fall, and why are you doing that? Well, you stick around for my notes for me to tell you why I'm using this printable called More Than the Sands of the Sea. I think that's the name. Okay, so this is so beautiful. She has different skin tones in her shop. All of her artwork is beautiful. I don't know if she draws these images herself. It seems like she does. But yes, I'm using this printable, More Than the Sands of the Sea. It has several pieces to it. This one says, a foolish man builds his house on the sand. Relax, the beach holds God's mysteries and promise. God set the sand as a boundary of the sea. Who can count the sand? Blessings, look at them. They're just so beautiful, and all of this artwork is just gorgeous. The seahorses, the seashells, the sand castle. I'm going to use some of that. And there's more to this printable. So you've got the girl laying on the beach, the bucket that you take to the beach with the sand, and you've got your Adirondack chairs, and you've got numberless as the sands of the seashore. Just gorgeous. All right, then we have this set that is for Joseph. My coat of many colors, dream, trust God, and stay humble. So Joseph's story is included in chapter 2, so we will do a page or spread for him. Then there were, let me make sure that's all that I have before I get to this next part, because this next part is going to be major. Okay. I had this in the set, but I think I'm going to save this for when we get to Moses and Pharaoh. But I did go ahead and get this from the shop, but this won't be in my review or my notes from chapter 2. This will probably be in chapter 3. Okay, but this is available in her shop. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to go over is the women that were a part of this chapter. There were some powerful, serious, faithful, just prayer warrior women in this chapter who really trusted God, who walked by faith. Some of them doubted God. Some of them were a little sneaky. I mean, so I'm always interested, because I am a woman, I am interested in the women that are mentioned in the Bible. So I want to do a whole section in my study notes of the women who were a part of chapter 2. So we've got Dinah, who is the sister, I think she's the only sister of Joseph. Remember Joseph in the many-colored coat, who ended up working for the Pharaoh, who saved his family from famine. Okay, Dinah or Dinah, I think her name in Hebrew is pronounced Dinah. But she is in this story. Rebecca, who is the mother of Jacob and Esau. I had a little brain pause there. And then you got Rachel and Leah, the sisters. Again, these come in different skin tones. You've got Sarah. You've got Hagar. You remember their story. God promised Sarah an heir, and she was already old when God made the promise. And so instead of her waiting on God, she told her husband, to Abraham, to go ahead and have a child with Hagar, their handmaid or servant. And he did that, which is where Ishmael came from. I mean, and then God was like, no, that's not what I told y'all to do. Okay, and then we have, oh my goodness, Potiphar's wife, who tried to accuse Joseph of some inappropriate behaviors. And I think I had 2 copies of that for some reason. So I am going to make a whole section in my study notes journal about the women who were a part of chapter 2, because it's just so good. And I'm going to do something really creative with it. I'm going to make some pockets and some tags and all of that good stuff. So I have a lot of things to cut out and a lot of things to prep before I get to the actual setup. So I just wanted to come in and show you what I'm doing, what I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to go away for a little bit. It's going to be about an hour for me, but just a second for you. And I'm going to get everything together, and then I will come back and show you how I put my pages together. I know this was a super long intro, but I feel like it's worth it because this shop is an amazing shop to get Christian printables from. Beautiful Good News. Please go by. If you use printables, please go by and check out her shop. And they're super inexpensive too. I mean, just go check her out. Very inexpensive. Okay, so if you want to see how my journaling and study notes come together for chapter 2 of Seamless in my study notes, just stick around. Okay, so let's get started. I've got everything cut out. And the first thing I want to do is set up an intro page to chapter 2 of Seamless. And I'm going to use this beach printable to set up my cover page for chapter 2, and also the section talking about Abraham, okay, and probably Isaac and Jacob. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. And so this is the end of chapter 1 here. And so I'm probably going to put some reflections, kind of what I thought about the first chapter of the study just here on this side. And then I'm going to set up my intro page to chapter 2 here. So I'm going to do the intro to chapter 2 and my next double page spread for Abraham. And then I'll come back and show you how everything turned out. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so now I have got the intro page set up, and I have got a couple of pages set up to discuss my notes from Abraham, excuse me, and then I also have a page that I'm going to use for Isaac and Jacob, because they're all still a continuation of the promise that God made to Abraham. So that's what these 4 pages are going to be for. This is Abraham, this is Isaac and Jacob, and I'll put some stickers up there at the top when I get ready to take my notes. And then here is the intro page. I'm sorry I'm flipping back and forth, but I just want you to get a good picture of it. Now next I'm going to do a spread for Joseph. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's going to do it for me for the section on Joseph. I am going to use some of my alpha stickers and add some additional stickers in here at the top, and then I'll put my notes in here in the middle section. And so I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to set up some things that I need for the 3rd section on the women that were discussed in chapter 2. So it's only going to be a second for you, but it's probably going to be probably the next day that I'm going to get around to this, because this took a lot longer for me to cut out than I had anticipated. And yeah, I've got some other things I need to do. So I'm probably going to pause here for today and then come back and do the section on the women of chapter 2 in Seamless tomorrow. So I hope that you have enjoyed this first part, and I will come back with the last part in just a second. Okay, now we're going to continue with the last spread here. Let's see. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do the women in these chapters. So what I decided to do is make some little pockets and put some inserts, some little cards in here that we can use as inserts. And that one's kind of tight, but we're going to put the notes on here and on possibly on the back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is tape these down into my book, and if I have some ribbon, I might attach some ribbon. I don't know if I have any left though, but if I have some ribbon, I might punch a hole in here and attach some ribbon to these cards as well. But I'm going to put these cards in, and I'm going to decorate them. And then I also have some flip ups that'll go on the page like this, and then you can put notes in there. That's going to be on a 2nd page. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and then I'll be back and show you how it turned out. Be right back. BRB. Okay, so I think my card is about to be full, so I'm gonna go through this really quick and try to wrap this up before my card runs out. Okay, so I'm gonna post the after the pin on Instagram. So if you want to see the after the pin of this, check me out on Instagram and I will show you how everything turned out. But this is for the second chapter of Seamless. We've got the intro page. We've got the page about Abraham, and the reason I chose this sands on the sea, sand and sea, is because God told Abraham that his descendants would be more than the sands on the sea. That's what God told him. And, you know, we're an example of that because we are the descendants of Abraham, you know, by faith through Christ. We are his descendants as well. All right, so that's the second page for Abraham. And we've got Isaac and Jacob that are still a part of that promise. That's why I continued on with that same deco. And then we have Joseph's section talking about his coat of many colors. And dream, trust God, and stay humble. And I think that's one of the things that Joseph did not do. He did not remain humble. But I mean, God worked everything out for his good. But I feel like sometimes he was bragging a little bit in front of his brothers, and that was a character flaw that he had. But God worked everything out for his good in the end anyway. Okay, and then here's the section. I love how this turned out. This is a section about the women in the Bible, and what I just did was glued the pockets down. I added these little cards in here that have the tabs came with the printable kit, and these came from Beautiful Good News, and I just put these inside the pocket, and this is where I'm going to write my notes for each woman from the second chapter, and I'm going to put scriptures here and then notes on these cards. So scriptures that represent each one of these women, and then their notes, my personal notes about them on the cards on the inside of these pockets. And then same thing for here. I'm going to put the scripture and then my notes about each woman on the inside of her interactive pocket. So that one opens up at the top, and this one opens up sideways like a book, and then this one also opens up to the top. This is about Potiphar's wife. I don't know how hers ended up being so big, but I have a lot to say about Potiphar's wife because that's a spirit that's still in the earth, accusing men of inappropriate behavior when they haven't done anything. That is still in the earth. So, and it makes it bad for women who really are in an appropriate situation. In an inappropriate situation, you know, people don't believe them because so many people lie, right? Okay, so that is the end of it for me for chapter 2. This took a lot longer than I had anticipated for it to. I was going to do my notes here and talk to you about it, and I may come back and talk to you about it at another time. But for now, I'm just going to do my notes and post the end results on Instagram. So I hope you'll check me out over there. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will give me a big thumbs up. If you're not already a part of the Piece of the Plans fam, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of the fun right here on this channel. If you're already a part of the fam, you know I appreciate you and thank you so much for coming back. If you have not started reading Seamless, I do highly recommend it. I will link where you can get it down in the description box, and I'll also link this shop, Beautiful Good News, down in the description. I hope you had a great week. I hope it's full of love, joy, and most of all, peace. I'll see you next time.